One more time, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And you are welcome to this Shabbat service. And our parasha of this week is known as Chukat. And what does Chukat mean? It means the statute of the Torah. And as we just read from the Torah and the Haftorah and the Messianic writing, we can see that these rules and this regulation of God given to Moshe to be given to the children of Israel is a kind of a complicated one. Our sages say that this week parasha is one of the most complicated among all the parashut that we have in the Torah. Because this parasha, humanly speaking, using human rationale, it doesn't make sense. In the sense that it's somehow so unreasonable that you think, why is God giving this type of status or this type of commandment? As we go in details, I'll come back to that. Actually, we're going to talk more also about the major event that occurred to the children of Israel in the wilderness. The death of Miriam, the punishment of Moshe and Aaron for striking the rock to bring forth water, the confrontation with the Edomites, the battle against the Canaanites and the Amorite, the plague of the snake, the travel of the children of Israel in the wilderness and their arrival at their final destination before their entrance to the promised land. So we can see that this week parasha it has a lot of volume. But what I want to discuss mostly is about the red infant. The red cow, which is called Aduma, sorry. So, we can also see, from the point of view of Moshe, that we see that Miriam, his sister died, and the water, and after the death of Miriam, the water in the rock that was following them stopped giving forth the water that is needed for the people. Then Aaron died. So if we look for, and again, the people are now even causing trouble for Moshe, complaining about water. If we look from the Moshe point of view as a human being, of course, it's very, very, very hard for Moshe. Because not long ago, the sister died, again, the brother died, and now the people are complaining and making trouble. This shows us that we and Moshe got mad, and it shows us that we are human beings. People say, oh, I say, oh, these people, they are very stubborn. These people, they don't listen. These people, they are kinds of, so spoiled child. But my people, if we look at from even though in our lives today, we are even worse than them. Let's say, for example, you know, like we're having like a trouble in parking, as a parking lot. It is very strange and so fun that people now, they want to serve God in their own convenience. In their own convenience, yeah. When it's convenient to them. People doesn't want to take any trouble. People doesn't want to take any pain. They say, you know, there is no parking. I can't come and be looking for parking. I'm going to stay home. Let's compare that with those people that were 4,000 years ago. These are men that walk in the desert in the temperature of plus 60 degrees with their bare foot. Not one day, 40 years. And we, now that even having the car, having all this civilization, we cannot serve God. We complain. We find one reason or the other not to come to the synagogue. It is not acceptable before God. When it is inconvenient with us, that is when we serve God more. For the Holy One, blessed be He, we look at our discomfort and He's going to give us comfort. So my people, we can see that we see the flaw in human character. The flaw in human character. That is the defect, yes. Even the Torah said that Moshe was the most patient man on the planet. And we as a human being provoke the most patient man until he made a mistake. Telling the people, should I or will I bring forth water for you from the rock for you to drink? And that was a mistake. Saying, should I bring water for you people to drink from the rock? It is not you that provide the water, your doors, the messenger. Moshe took upon himself the glory, the power, and the glory of God. And because of that, he got punished. God said, I am the jealous God. I will never give my glory to human. No. God does not share glory. All glory and power and majesty belongs to Him alone. So we can see how these people provoked this man until he could not enter into the promised land. And that is the most patient man on the planet. How about me and you? The little thing, we get mad. Our children make us mad. Our husbands make us mad. Our wives make us mad. Even though the sheep sometimes make the shepherd mad. That is the most patient man that the people do not, they cause him not to enter into the promised land. we can understand from Moshe's point of view that this problem has been packing together up and up and up and up until it gets here for Moshe. So but that does not give Moshe an excuse to take the glory of God upon himself, because Moshe was in serious personal relationship with the Almighty. So this morning we are going to talk more about the Paradama, the red cow. So what is this ordinance that God gave to the children of Israel concerning the red cow? Our study said that Satan and the nations came up and accused Israel that what is this ordinance that you gave to Israel? Because this ordinance doesn't make sense. It's full of contradictory. So how come that a cow is going to be killed, and the Kohen and the man that killed the cow and the man that take the ashes of the cow become impure, and why the ash of this cow will make someone who is impure to be pure? So it is extremely very contradictory. But we are going to try by the grace of God to explain this status that God has given to the children of Israel. As I keep on explaining to us, is like this status is like a ripple. A ripple is, when you drop something in the water, the rain. So it starts with a little point and it spread. So I'm going to use some examples to try to explain this status. The law of the red heifer is called status, which is in Hebrew hook. As the reasoning behind it is very elusive and unexplainable. According to the Midrash, Tehuna 7. According to the Midrash, okay. Satan and the nation of the world claim against Israel the logic of this status. They claim against Israel the logic behind this status. They ask, how can the ash of the red heifer purify the impure through contact with the dead? They ask, how can the ash of the red heifer, when those who themselves prepare its ash are rendered impure? It doesn't make sense. So, we can go back to what is called Pesach Sheni, which means the second Pesach. This Pesach Sheni is actually given to those who were unclean, who could not take part in the first Pesach, or who live very far away and do not come to Jerusalem on that time. So it's a kind of a second chance for those people who live far away, or those who are impure during the first Pesach. So how does it relate to this particular status? This Pesach Sheni can be understood as the second and the final redemption of Israel after they have traveled for 2,000 years in diaspora. Okay, this Pesach Sheni can be understood as the second and final redemption of Israel. Go ahead. After they have traveled for a very distant journey, 2,000 years in exile. And they will have sought upon themselves all the impurity of the nations. So I want us to go to read Galatians chapter 3. Can we open to Galatians chapter 3? Verse 13 to 14. I'm going to read. Galatians 3, 13 to 14. Okay. But Messiah has redeemed us from the curse of Torah, by becoming a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is everyone who hangs on a tree, that the blessing of Abraham might come to the Gentiles through Yeshua the Messiah, that we might receive the promise of the Spirit through faith. I want to give us a very clear example about this cow and how it purified. First of all, I will tell you that the red cow represents a Jew who is totally red, who is impure, who has acquired all kinds of sin through their exile 2,000, 3,000 years. That has not known God or has never bring upon himself the yoke of the Torah. The Torah has the ability to turn that Jew to be pure. In order for him to receive his reward in the world to come. Now, looking at what was written by Shaul to the Galatians, we can see that this cow has done nothing wrong. This cow can literally say is holy. But this cow was slaughtered in order to purify those that are unclean or who are coming into contact with the dead. Going a little bit about Gematria now. The Gematria for corpse, that is for a dead corpse, is 401. 404. And the Gematria for the word holy or sanctified is 404. here we have a clue that what was there could make sanctification through a process of reversal or exchange impure to pure. Come again, okay. Here there is a clue. God has given us a clue here, saying that what is impure can be made pure. It can be reversed. So the same thing here, Yeshua HaMashiach was like a red cow. It was sacrificed, it was made a cost, it was cost in order for us to receive blessings. It was hanged on the tree because it is written in our law, anyone that commits suicide is a cursed person. Anyone that commits suicide, anyone. Because the Torah said, "Thou shalt not take thy life." You cannot take your life. It is forbidden. So if you take your life and you hang on the tree as represented by the cross, by killing him or by hanging him on the cross, he is a cause because he has been hanged on the tree. Understand what I'm saying? Okay. Yeshua Mashiach was hanged on the tree. He was a cause in order for us to receive blessing. God took all our blame upon him in order for us to receive the redemption of our soul. So in other words, we represent that red cow. And as it is written that the ash of this cow shall make clean that which is unclean. In the Messianic writing that we just read in the book of John 3:10 to 21. John 3:10 to 21. You cannot read 10 to 21. And Yeshua answered and said to him, You are a teacher of Israel, and this thing you do not understand. Amen, amen. I said to you that the things that we know we speak. We testify to the things that we see, and a testimony you do not receive. I have explained everything and you do not believe. How then will I explain heavenly things? And no man has ascended into heaven except he who descended from heaven, the Son of Man. He is who is in heaven. And as Moshe lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, thus the Son of Man is about to be lifted up, so that everyone who believes in him will not perish, but have eternal life. What does it mean? That everyone that believes in him will not die, but have eternal life. Everyone that believes in him will not die, but have eternal life. Who is him? The problem of our understanding now is that people think him is Yeshua. He's not talking about himself. He's talking about him that is behind him, which is the Holy One, blessed be he. He's not talking about whosoever believes in me as a person. He's talking about those whosoever believe in him that sent me. Because I have not sent myself, but somebody sent me. If you believe in him that sent me, you will have life, eternal life. Because I could not do anything by myself. It is him that sent me that doeth all. He who give life, the Holy One, blessed be he, gives life. And that is why God is talking about here the impurity about death. God said, the Holy One said, I present before you this day death and life. But I advise you to choose life. Because I am life. I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about the Holy One. He is life. And he wants us to live eternally. And death is what is a contamination. You cannot bring contamination into the holies of holies. You cannot bring contamination into the Mishkan. For God is not dead. You have to be pure and clean before you come into the Mishkan. The Torah said God is not the God of the dead, but the God of the living. That is exactly what Yeshua is talking about here. If you believe in him that sent me, you will have eternal life. Let's continue. Thus, for Elohim loved the world. Yohanan 3:16 now. Yohanan 3:16. Thus, for Elohim loved the world so that he gave, the world so as he would give his only begotten Son, that whosoever will believe in him will not perish, but will have life that is eternal. So that whosoever will believe in him will have life that is eternal. He told the woman, if you know he that speaks to you, you will have asked him for eternal water, and has given you water that is eternal. What does water represent? It's talking about the same thing. Water is life. I will give you life eternal. We can also see in the Haftorah what happened. Jephthah was the son of a concubine. His brothers despised him. According to the tradition, he is what he is illegitimate son. Because his mom were not married officially, they're just a concubine. So you have no right in the property of our father. They send him out from his father's house. What is the Torah teaching us here? The Torah is telling us here that which we despise will become the head of the stone. This is what Yeshua actually did. That thing that you despise, that person that you think is nobody, that rabbi that you think is nobody, that your brother, your sister that you think that is nobody, tomorrow will become the chief, will become the head of the cornerstone. God will make him or her or that person the head. from darkness comes light. Don't despise that because it's darkness, everything is bad. But if you keep up in a positive mood, that your negativity will be turned into a positivity. That's what God is saying. Jephthah did not go and succumb and say, oh, you know, my brother is sending out of my father's house and that is the end of my life. No. The Torah says Jephthah was born a warrior. He was born a fighter. He was born a leader. People think, like in our world today, we say a leader is made, a leader is not born. That is wrong. But Jephthah shows example. Jephthah was a true leader, born leader. The Torah said, and he gathered around himself all people that had been despised. The outcasts of Israel, he gathered them around himself. And he trained them and became their leader. And the people that sent him out of his father's house now has to come and fetch him to defend them. Supposing Jephthah, as I say, you know what? They sent me out of my father's house, then that is the end of me, poor me. No! He didn't allow his spirit to be cast down. He didn't allow his mind to be destroyed by what the people are saying about him. He said, you know, your mother is a prostitute. No, he didn't allow that to cast him down. He didn't allow the negativity of the people of the world to destroy him. He stood fast and he became chief priest, the chief prince of Israel. He became the judge of Israel. A son of a concubine. So those people that they think for themselves we are the legitimate son, where are they now? Those people that say, you know, we are pure blood, where are they now? God is telling you, I can do all things. God is saying, don't be afraid. Everything is possible under the sun. Yeshua was made our red cow for us to be redeemed and for us to come close to the Holy One. For us to be able to see the light of His kingdom. It's not easy for a pure man to be made impure, because he accumulates upon himself all the impurity of the world. He said, Father, Father, where art thou? I mean, when he was hanged on the tree, because the Messiah, he said, and God but him. That God does not look upon him because of the impurity of the world. When Yeshua was hanged on the tree, he said, Eloi, Eloi, Sama Shabbat Sali. You understand that? Thank you. So, is it my God, may our God, where I thou?